Yes, hello and welcome to another vlog from Ben R Rider.
Switch that V6 for the EV, ride around my city. You should come ride with me, yeah. Feel me if you hear me, sip water like a fish, sip box water to the gillies, yeah. This a new wave, this a takeover. Do it for the future, time to get a world a makeover. Time never stops, no, the timing is not. Time to clean up the block. Streets been a mess, how can I breathe? Smoke in the air, pure gasoline. I see the news, see what you read. Change gotta come, put that on me and watch me educate. Yeah, we been, could've started, but it's never late. Do it for my kids, yeah, let's set it straight. Do it for your kids, gotta set it straight. It's time to regulate, we need change now. We need solar, we need EV in the game now. Make it changes so the earth we know can stay around. Make it change cause we had no time for playing around. Let's quit the playing around. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Start from the flow, sweep up the scene. We going green, work as a team. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Start from the flow, sweep up the scene. We going green, we going green. New car goes zoom, but it's quiet. You can hear me come and think I'm lying. If I said I'm perfect, I'd be lying.
Today we're testing out the Yamaha R7 2022 model, and this is a 2-cylinder 689cc bike or engine. And I have to add, actually, I'm just doing this test ride just for me, basically. I just wanted to see what it is like, what the difference is to the MT-07. And I can tell you already the difference between, I mean, the engine, I would say, is basically the same compared to the MT-07. The MT-07 is for everyday use, and this one really is a super sports. You lie on the tank here, and if your belly is as big as mine, you already have a problem with this bike. So it is not comfortable, I would say. And it is only for people, maybe for young people who want to take it to the extremes. And as I said, this is just a little note to myself, this video. And I cannot really judge on this bike because it is really not intended for people like me. I usually ride scooters, and so this bike is way over my head. This one which I have here is the 48 horsepower version, just enough, you know, for me. The regular version has almost 73 or 74 horsepower and 67 or so Newton meters. So it is pretty powerful for this class, I would say. This bike costs 9,699 euros here in Spain on the road. You can get it in two colors. This is the black version here. You can also get it in the Yamaha blue version. And there's a 60th anniversary edition, which costs another 500 or so euro extra, and which is basically white with different other applications like red and stuff like that. So it's more like a sports, super sports version, and this is the regular sports version. So let's get to the controls and the display. We have in the front, we have the switch for the passing light switch. We have the brake lever. Apparently it has the slipper clutch. We have high beam, low beam. We have the switch for the display here. We have a blinker switch here, and we have a horn. On the right hand side we have the gas throttle, the brake lever for the front disc brakes, the emergency switch. We have the hazard light switch and the starter switch on the right hand side. So let's get to the display. I don't know if it will be in focus because it's kind of hidden and low contrast. That is also one point which I don't like. I mean, but I should not comment on any of these components here of this bike because, as I said, it's way over my head. But actually it's a little bit difficult to see this display. In the display we can have the gear indicator, we have the RPM counter, the speedometer on the right hand side, we have the fuel level. Underneath we have some data, average fuel consumption, actual fuel consumption. We have the coolant level, the coolant temperature. We have the outside temperature and stuff like that. I cannot really see this here in the sun, to be honest, so I'm just telling you, and I don't know what's actually showing up in the display. So we're here with the Yamaha R7, and as I said, this bike is really not for me. So I'll just take it back to the dealer. Maybe you will get some more impressions of it or not, I don't know. And I don't want to say this is actually a real test ride, because, you know, this bike is definitely for a different audience and not for me. But, you know, I just made had my experience with this bike now, and I will take it back to the dealer, and I know what to get and not what to get. So I guess I will not get super sports bikes in the future. Maybe even not for test ride, because they're absolutely not made for me. But you know, maybe you're much younger and you have a good back, and that might be something exciting for you. Yeah, as I said, I will not give you very many impressions on this. This is absolutely a sports bike. You have a lot of wind here, unless you probably duck down into the windscreen. You have to put your belly or non-existent six-pack, or non-existent belly or six-pack, let's put it this way, on the tank. You know, I cannot really do this because I'm just too fat for this. And everything is very, very tight. The suspension, the seat. So it's not a comfortable travel bike. I mean, it's a super sports bike. So, you know, of course I don't expect that. I just want to point it out. We'll take it nice and slowly. Yeah. The view in the mirror is very limited. So I mean, I cannot really say anything, because everything will be negative, because it's a super sports. Usually it is not made really. I mean, you can ride it on the streets. You should better ride it on a track, I guess. The display is very difficult to read. Also the angle actually is not, well, maybe if you're ducked down like that, maybe then the angle would be better. But as you can see, I will be very glad to return this bike to the dealer. But I just wanted to give you a few impressions of it anyways. And let's make it very snappy. It's not a test ride really, and not a review. It's a more of a new experience for me. And now I know, I guess I should not be test riding super sports bikes. Anyways, that's just my few impressions here of the Yamaha R7. Thanks very much for watching. This has been a ride out. Take care. Bye bye.